Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Mr. DB Khan is back. I put on my finest Steelers jewelry today. This is old watch I had from a long time ago. I used to use this for decoration as a collectible. It's hurting my wrist real bad because it's not how I was a kid. And every time I move like this, I can feel it stabbing my wrist because it's too little, my hand too big. But it's okay. It's okay because we're just doing this for the video temporary. A 15-minute video probably. But we're diving into some Steelers. This is the mock draft right here, 3.0. Last week, 2.0, we did back-to-back defensive linemen. As you guys know, free agency happened. Usually I do it after free agency, but this time I started a little early so I can have more mock drafts to do. And you've seen the free agency stuff, of course, with Steelers bringing in different players, via trade, signings and stuff, still looking for a quarterback. So I drafted this draft based off of the stuff we kind of need to see and stuff that we kind of lingering on. We're going to see Aaron Rodgers. Maybe by this video uploaded, Aaron Rodgers might be on the Steelers team, or he might not, or maybe Russell Wilson be back. We'll see what happens. But we'll have to dive into that a little bit later with some more videos. But today we're diving into the mock draft, and I'm gonna start off with my first pick in the mock draft. I'm gonna start off with that right now. The first pick in the mock draft, I took Walker Nolan, defensive lineman from Mississippi. As you guys know, the Steelers need a defensive lineman. They haven't signed anybody in free agency yet. We've seen, of course, the cornerbacks. They got Nichols from the Jets. They brought in Darius Slay, big play Slay, a former All-Pro, a Pro Bowl cornerback as well. They brought in a quarterback in Mason Rudolph. We're still waiting to see if Aaron Rodgers or Russ or whoever else they're going to bring in or what they do. They trade for Joe Milton or somebody else. We'll see exactly what they do with that. They're going to roll with Mason Rudolph as the veteran QB, and then maybe next year draft somebody, so we kind of have to wait and see. But I went with Walker Nolan because you got to be able to stop the run. I mentioned this many times on the channel. I went with Kenny Graham last time, and I'm still syndicate my draft. I went with Kenny Graham as well because Kenny Graham is very good and dominating. But this time he was gone. Kenny Graham was gone, and Mason Graham, who I want. That's probably the top guy that you'll definitely have on your team. But since he is he was also going already. It was between Walter Nolan, then Alfred Collins was still there. I think Walter Nolan is a little more talented than Alfred Collins. Walter Nolan has a great explosive first step like that. His lateral agility is what set him aside for a lot of different people. His versatility and stuff as well. His quick first step to get out from the snap start like that and be able to get out there and make plays in the run game like that and pursuit as well. He's shown that he can be able to pursue, pass. I think he had like he had 3 sacks last year. 3 or 4 sacks last year. He's able to pursue people. He's 6'4", 296 pounds. He's a big body. He can be an anchor up front and very consistent in holding those gaps and stuff as well. So we need somebody to be able to close those gaps. We've seen a lot of gaps wide open. We played against those teams like the Ravens in the playoffs and the Ravens regular season. The last game we lost to them, and against, of course, the Eagles and all the other teams like that. They were able to run the ball effectively in between the numbers. You should never let somebody just run the ball right between the numbers, right down your throat. Derrick Henry was cooking us, and now the teams in the AFC North are just getting better and better. We'll get better and better and stronger. This North division right here is always a tough division like that. So you want to be able to go out there and stop the run. I think with Walker Nolan getting added to your team, you'll definitely be having that ability to be able to stop the run and go out there and have a big body up front and kind of change some things up and stuff. I think that'd be a nice addition that we bring him. He's very efficient, of course, in his bull rush as well like that. We see him in pursuit, and if you need to go out there on the passing downs as well. So you kind of have him out there at different times. I feel like he'd be a guy who can be a solidified piece for a long time to come in this defense right here for the Steelers. So you have, of course, the Keanu Bennett, you have the Cam Hayward, you add this guy right here to that mix with the edge rushers we have, like TJ Watt, of course, Alex Highsmith, Herbert. You have a pretty good front seven like that and be able to stop the run and be active. TJ Watt did not get a lot of credit for how good he is in stopping the run. People always think because he get all the sacks and stuff, he's not active in the run game. TJ Watt is very active in the run game. So you add somebody like that with Cam Hayward, who's also active in the run game, add some pieces of guys who can go out there and make some plays. That'd be very good to see. So I think Walker Nolan from Mississippi will be a great addition to the team, and that's why I went with my first pick with him. Moving on to my second pick. My second pick, I think I'm tripping. There's no second pick. I meant to say third pick, but before I get to third pick, we discuss the second pick. You guys know we traded the second pick, DK Metcalf. We traded for DK Metcalf and signed him to I think a 5-year extension for $150 million, something like that. DK Metcalf is a good player. He's not an elite receiver, but he's a good receiver. But he has potential to be elite because we see the numbers. You see he's a second-team All-Pro for multiple-time Pro Bowler, of course, as well. I feel like once he expand his route running tree and open up a lot more and get have his own head with all the extra penalties and necessary stuff that happen on the field, he's going to be a elite level player. But now playing alongside GP, it's gonna make things easier for him and things easier for GP as well, like that. So we trade our second round pick for that. We probably gonna use a second round pick to draft a receiver anyway, so we might as well just bring in a guy like DK Metcalf. You already know what he is. And he's 26, 27 years old, solidified like that. So hey, we bring DK Metcalf here, bring him to Pittsburgh, and have all those weapons we have now with Pat Fryermuth, GP, DK Metcalf. The pieces we added Kenneth Gainwell. He's a solid little dual threat running back. He played for the Eagles as well. You got Jalen Warren back as well. We lost Najee, which does hurt, of course, but I did address the running back position, which is my next pick, the third pick in the draft. I took Cam Scatterbo. Cam Scatterbo is available right there. Now, it was a quarterback available too as well. Will Howard was available. I know people said the Steelers are high upon Will Howard and Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart was already gone, of course, in the my first round pick, he wasn't there like that. I was surprised because usually in the mock draft he'd be still there like that, but he was gone on this right here. But Will Howard was still there. But I cannot pass on Cam Scatterbo for Will Howard, a guy who's gonna be a project type of piece to try to bring up. Maybe you draft a project piece like in the 4th, 5th rounds like that, but I couldn't pass on Cam Scatterbo for Will Howard. So I took Cam Scatterbo. As you guys know, Cam Scatterbo is a nice player. We discussed him on this channel many times before. He has the ability to be a good ball vision. He kind of embodies what the Steelers love. You know, an all-down-purpose back who can do a lot of different things. A big body as well, who's durable, got good agility as well, good balance, good drive. Never go down from first contact either. Look at his yards after contact. He's always high up like that. He's an amazing player. Watch that Texas game when you play against Texas and Arizona State versus Texas. Watch that game. Go back and watch that game, that playoff game, and you'll see how big of an impact he had. Texas have a pretty good defense too, so you see how big of an impact he have as well too, like in that game, and just see how great he is. In my opinion, I'm not saying he's these guys just yet, but his play style is like if you fuse. You ever seen Dragon Ball Z before? They do the fusion technique. You fuse Najee Harris and Christian McCaffrey, and you get Cam Scatterbo. I'm not saying he's gonna be better than him like that. We gotta wait to see, of course, because he's a rookie. But his play style is very similar to that. He can run in the power scheme and be a power thumper type of running back. He also can be a guy who is very agile and uses agility and catch out the backfield and catch as a slot receiver and stuff, and use him on the outside. You can do different things for him too as well. And you see what he do like with the ball in his hand. So he just shows so much versatility. It's like you never see a guy with this who's 230, I think, about 230, 240, just around that range, able to move like that and be agile and quick and shifty and stuff. So the Steelers can use him right, block for him right as well, and put him in the right scheme and positioning. I think it'd be great to have him on the team. So I took him with my third pick. Moving on to my fourth pick, I took Jordan Phillips, defensive lineman from Maryland. Not the Bills, Jordan Phillips. I wish we had that. But Jordan Phillips from Maryland, the D lineman from Maryland. I took him. I traded my, speaking of the Bills, actually, I traded my pick on my 4th round pick with the Bills. The Bills offered me on a simulator. They be offering things all the time like that. So the Bills offered me a 4th round swap and their 5th round pick. So I took that deal right there. She just moved down a few more spots. I guess they wanted somebody in the simulation. So I took Jordan Phillips, D lineman from Maryland, 6'2", 312 pounds as well. Got good leverage, maintain good leverage and stuff as well. He can be an anchor on the line, but he's more of a project-like pick a little bit in a sense because he's young still. I think he's 20. He's one of the younger players in the draft like that, so he has a lot of potential to maybe be better as time goes on like that. In the right system, in the right scheme, he thrives and plays well in a 3-4 type of system, which is the Steelers play, of course, defensively. So he'll fit right in and merge right in, and it'll be easier too. When you play around greatness like the Cam Hayward, the TJ Watts, the Alex Highsmith, it'll be easier for you to play like that, make things easier for you. So I think adding him as a depth piece would be nice to bring in. He's better on rundowns, like that, but passing downs, he does show the ability to maybe be a good pass rusher as well, like that on passing downs. If they can kind of develop him more and more, you might look at his stat sheet and see like, oh, he got 0 sacks. He has 0 sacks in this year and that year right there because he would play a lot. He was kind of red shirt here and there. He played a good amount, but in those first when you watch him hold those gaps, when you watch it, you see the potential there, and that's why they kind of got him around the 4th, 5th round like range like that a little bit. It's a project piece. We've seen a guy like that before. He might not be on that level a little bit, but Kobe Turner got drafted like 4th round. I think late 3rd round. He was an 8-9 pick. Yeah, Kobe Turner from the Rams got drafted late in the draft, and remember what he did. Yeah, 8 sacks 1 year, 9 sacks his first 2 years in the league like that. He's an amazing player. Then you look at what they did after that. They got Puka Nacua later in the rounds too as well. They developed him. Sometimes you can see a guy who might not be the most eye-popping on the stat sheet from all the things he's done in college, but you'll see somebody who you're like, okay, I see the potential in him. And I know in my scheme, I can make him thrive like that. So I feel like he's one of those guys in the Steelers scheme. Jordan Phillips from Maryland, he can thrive in the Steelers scheme and go out there and make some plays and be an anchor in the run game and maybe be a threat in the pass game as well, and passing downs too. So I think add a guy like that who's only 20 years old, who has yet to reach his potential like that. You've seen the college in spurts, but you still see a lot more to pull out. I think it'd be amazing to have a piece like that on our team. So I took him with our 4th pick. Now with our 5th pick, I took Dillon Gabriel, quarterback from Oregon. You probably say, oh, took a quarterback. Yep, took a quarterback. Now I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if we're gonna have Aaron Rodgers on this roster. By the end of this video, Aaron Rodgers could be signed, or Russell Wilson could be signed, or something else could be happening. I know Mason Rudolph is here for now, but we don't know exactly what's gonna happen. But Will Howard, like I mentioned, he was in the 3rd round pick, but I took Cam Scatterbo over him. I couldn't pass on Cam Scatterbo to Will Howard. So I said, you know what? I draft a quarterback later rounds. I drafted Dillon Gabriel from Oregon. You guys know he played in Oklahoma, had 30 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. They transferred to Oregon, 30 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, 72 completion percentage. He's a guy who's very good at putting the ball, good ball placement. Good ball placement and finding his receivers in stride and stuff. He kind of thrive in that type of offense. And kind of like the Dolphins play, the 49ers play that West Coast style. We got guys in motion, guys moving the crossing routes, the post routes, the drags, and things that kind of use in the middle of the field, intermediate routes to get guys on the move, either run at the catch. He kind of reminds, if you watch this game, he kind of reminds you a little bit of a stronger arm Tua. His play style is kind of embodied that. He's like 5'11", a little shorter. He has some agility a little bit, still limited athletically a little bit, but his accuracy is the main thing that sets him apart. He'll put that ball in the money a lot of the times, and I think he'll thrive in the offense like the Steelers with GP, and you got DK Metcalf like that. If he develops well, just to say, they never know, they might use him like that, but if they don't use him, like, you'll see what happens. But he's 24 years old, a little bit older like that. He played a lot of college. Sometimes playing a lot of college can be a positive. Sometimes be a negative because be like, okay, well, they still haven't kind of knacked it. They still haven't like dominated like that. But you look at his numbers of Oklahoma, you look at his numbers of Oregon, he always was very productive and very, good. Put some good numbers up. His completion percentage is always high up and stuff as well. So he's a very accurate quarterback. He has a lot of potential. I think I think he might be closer to the ceiling than it being like far away, like him reaching it. But I think he can definitely be a solid quarterback in this league like that. You look at his ability to put the ball on the money, and like tackling the middle of the field is the main thing. And like I showed you some of the highlights of him probably on the screen. You see him, his ability to tap the middle of the field, his ability to put the ball out there and stretch it. He might can't make all the throws because his arm length might not be the longest arms, but he can hit the ball in certain spots, like super outside the numbers or something like that. But if you put him in the right scheme, the right system, I think he can definitely thrive. Just like Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy might not have the strongest arm either. He got drafted, he was the last pick of the draft. But he was in the right scheme and the right system that excelled and like exceeded his expectations like that and made him go out there and shine and play good. Got to the NFC Championship game, got to a Super Bowl as well like that, and you see his accuracy, the ability to hit the guys in stride, hit the guys on the money. And Dillon Gabriel is similar in that aspect, so I wouldn't mind taking a chance of bringing him in. It's his 5th round pick, so taking a chance of bringing him in and seeing what happens. He kind of in that range of maybe late 3rd rounder, if you're lucky, but kind of in that 4th to 5th round range. It's kind of like where he's kind of projected to go. So I took him with the 5th pick right here to add another quarterback. We could have another quarterback by the time this video ends. Aaron Rodgers could be on the roster with Mason Rudolph, with whoever else we get like that. We'll have to see, but I took him my 5th pick. My other 5th pick that I got via trade from the Bills, I took Latham Ransom, safety from Ohio State. He's a thumper. He's a thumper, getting downhill. He can play man coverage as well, solidly too as well. He's a guy who's very good and thrived at being physical and thrived at playing on a line of scrimmage like that. Being active. You see him in on blitzes. You've seen him play different positions in the secondary. He played in the slot. Seen him play him safety, of course. That's his main position, but he's not really just a safety. He's kind of like a guy who play all around. He play in the slot, play nickel, play everywhere like that. So you can put him in different spots, have him blitz in, have him play man-to-man coverage, have him on tight ends, have him on running backs, have him do a lot of different things. And he's a good tackler as well. It's always great to have a good tackler in your secondary, a guy who's not afraid to be a thumper. We got a guy in Deshaun Elliott who's like that, but add another piece like this to the mix, I think would be very good. So I went with him and drafted him because we already have, of course, the cornerback. I mentioned the other DBs we drafted, but you can never have too many DBs. I think because we've seen the injury that happened last year with Dante Jackson when he got injured. Corey Trice was injured most of the season. JPJ got injured one game as well. Then you start dropping down like that and get to a certain point. And we had to roll with Cam Sutton, who was horrible last year, and all the different individuals like that who couldn't like really guard on the outside. A guy like this will be a versatile piece to do different things around your team like that. You can have him in different positions and kind of fill some spots up. He might can play linebacker the way he be playing. Like you like see some of his film and stuff. He played very physical. He played very physical, played very aggressive. He's an aggressive hitter, aggressive tackler. He might could be a linebacker as well. Kind of remind you a little bit of, what's his name? Mark Barron. Remember Mark Barron used to play safety at Alabama, and he played for the Steelers a little bit too. He kind of switched to linebacker because he's like a thumper. He'll make a play, but this guy right here is a little more versatile and man coverage and stuff, and like guard solidly. But I think adding a piece like that would be great. So I added him, and he also was a good special teamer as well. See a lot of big time plays he making special teams too. So adding him was my decision to go with right there. Let's move on to the last picks we have, the 7th-round picks. We have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's the 223rd pick, 229 pick, and a 245th pick in the draft. I took Q Robinson like I did last time, an edge rusher to add more depth. As you guys know, Nick Herbig is probably the only person I think we have right now. I know he signed that what's his name? Malik Harrison, the linebacker. He played inside linebacker. He do other things like that. He's all right, but he's not really nothing like no edge rusher, no like dominating edge rusher or like predominantly an edge rusher on the outside like that. And the Ravens, he had moments. That's the one that got mossed by Cordell Patterson. Remember that one play where Cordell Patterson, who's like 35, 36, juked him up, jumped over him. So I'm like, I don't know about that. So we added him maybe as a depth piece a little bit, but not as a guy who can have a big major role. Hopefully Cole Hope can come back and he'd be like more a major role for us. But I took Q Robinson, the edge rusher. He's on the outside like that, add more depth. I took Jalen Rivers, offensive tackle from Miami, like I did last time. Those two guys from last time. But this time, I went with the last pick with the receiver, Jimmy Horn Jr., receiver from Colorado. As you guys know, Colorado, Jimmy Horn Jr. is, I think, 5'10", 5'11". He has speed, of course, quickness, agility. He's one of those kind of gadget type guys. He did make a ACC thing. I think special teams, all teams, special teams like that, a special teamer in 2022. So he has that ability to be like one of those gadget guys. I think Arthur Smith loved guys like that. Put him in different spots, guys who can do different things around, of course, the offense and stuff. You can line up in the slot, have him do handoffs and do takeoffs and like tosses to him and stuff, screen passing and different things and stuff. He loved pieces like that on the offense. So we went out there and got him because that's why he probably asked him to bring in Kenneth Gainwell and stuff like that. And Jalen Warren kind of fits that style a little bit too. So I think you can add a guy like Jimmy Horn and find use for him on special teams or somewhere. We kind of see how things transpire. I think we resigned Skoranek. If I'm not mistaken, I think Skoranek resigned yesterday, so he'll be on special teams as well. But I think our return man, I don't know who's going to be really. I think you can get a guy like Jimmy Horn Jr., be a return man, and see what happens. That things shape out. Kevin Austin, of course, will do some punt returns as well. They put him out there in the mix. But yeah, this is all I have for my draft. First pick, I went with Walker Nolan, the lineman from Michigan. Third pick, I went with Cam Scatterbo, running back from Arizona State. Fourth pick, I went with Jordan Phillips, D lineman from Maryland. Fifth pick, I went with Dylan Gabriel, quarterback from Oregon. Fifth pick, my other fifth pick I got via trade from the Bills. I went with Latham Ransom, safety from Ohio State. And then my seventh pick, my three of them, I went with Q Robinson, edge rusher, Jalen Rivers, offensive tackle of Miami, and Jimmy Horn Jr., receiver of Colorado. So this is my picks. Rate my picks down below. Leave down below what you like, what you didn't like, what you hate, what you love. Leave it all down below like that. And I'll see you guys probably I don't know if it'll be maybe tomorrow, maybe on Saturday. I might have a video. I want to do an NFL first round mock draft. I forgot to do it early in the week because of free agency stuff. But I might do one of those tomorrow. But I'll see you guys definitely tomorrow for sure. But peace out.